Hello and welcome back to my channel, Dabble Bag, the art of Anna Barnhart. In this second part of this time-lapse painting of Aslan singing Narnia into being, I don't think I mentioned that one before. It's a little, very impressionistic portion, and you'll see me put Aslan in later. In this video, I'm going to mention 5 or 6 things that I'd like to tell myself when I first started, about 5-ish years ago. Honestly, I can't remember exactly when I started. All I know is that I've made my efforts more intentional. That's really the biggest thing with my other day jobs that I've had. The biggest trouble, challenge, I try to mash words together all the time, is the time and energy I've had to make things intentional. So the first thing, don't be ashamed of experimenting. I think there's a stigma around working in too many different media for a lot of artists, and yes, it is harder to market when you work in too many different things. You can't specialize and get good at one thing if you do lots of things. But nothing is also invented when you work only in one media forever. You learn techniques and skills when you do cross-media. Number 2, learn on purpose. When you're doodling around in your sketchbook, that can be fun and you need that play in your head. But if you're not drawing from life something on purpose, if you're not learning some specific skill, I think you can actually not necessarily waste time, but a better use of your time is to learn something specific on purpose and to really go after a particular skill. I would doodle a lot in my sketchbooks. I could actually tell how well I was feeling by how aimless my doodling was in my sketchbook. And I would learn a lot better, just like the Strata Challenge, painting from life. You're painting something specific from life, or if you're learning perspective or shadows, learn something specific rather than just doodling, and your doodling time will actually be more useful to you in the long run. So that's 2, learn on purpose. Number 3, use the systems you are given. I did go to school for art for a little bit, and we had these process books. Anyone who sees this might remember that and shudder. But those are totally good things. Process books of composition ideas, like thumbnail sketches. You do value studies, you get more and more detailed as you go along them. And it's kind of like a self-editing process for your ideas. Don't let these processes go. No, you don't want to make your things stale. You do want to continue that energy from something that you've got in your head right now. But that editing process is also really good for you to not make cliches and not make bad art. Those processes are there for a reason. And trust them and learn why they're there to begin with. So I highly recommend things like making thumbnail sketches and compositions and color comps and things like that. They will help teach you how you work. It's like a mirror looking back into your own process. So use the tools in the system you have been given. Alright, number 4, find a tribe. Find a group, a class even, a group of professionals or semi-professionals that get together to do this very thing you want to do. Not necessarily you do well yet. It's almost like free classes. It may not be free and it may not even be a class, but you've got professionals actually working in the field that can tell you, even indirectly, whether you have what it takes to make it. I've got a few art groups and clubs that I belong to, and I love the amazing critique these people have. It's wonderful. I love the opportunities that you're given. It's everything you need in that tribe, and you can also kind of speak the same language, the same artsy language, or whatever hobby that you found your people in. It's so relieving to have the same nerdy energy of these people, and it's invaluable. Find a tribe. Number 5, use what you have and do not be afraid to use it up. I still struggle with this one a lot, and I've made other videos to this effect. It is very hard to use up what you have when you're terrified you'll never get it again. Well, guess what? You're not going to improve unless you use it up. I think there have been many stories of people like, you can either make one perfect pot, or you can use up 50 pounds of clay throughout a class. And this one instructor found that when the students used up the 50 pounds of clay, when they used all of it, their pot was way better at the end. They learned way more than the person who spent the entire semester making the one perfect pot to conserve clay and whatnot. You need to go through your stuff. It's just stuff. There's 8 billion people on this world. There's a lot of stuff out there. Use up what you got. You will find something to use. You don't need the most expensive stuff. You need paper and a pencil. You really don't need that much stuff to start honing your ideas and your craft that way. And using what you've got, that's how you make a body of work. You use what you've got on hand. You might find that you don't like what you've got on hand. I happen to have lots of different stuffs because of the said experimenting before. I've also learned that maybe you should cap your experimenting or what you invest in. $20. You have this huge idea or this brand new idea that's very different from what you've been working on. I will invest $20 in that new idea because I have learned the hard way that my ideas can go a little crazy. But use what you've got. If you've got pencils, use that. If you have $5 to get another better thing of paint, do that, and you do the best with what you can with that one before you move on to something bigger. That's a big one. Number 6, record everything. It doesn't have to be quite as literally as what I'm doing right here of literally recording everything I'm doing painting, although I'd like to believe it can help and can tell stories and help other artists and hobbyists and people grow that way. I also mean bookkeeping and receipts and taking pictures of your art. Now, I have kept all my old sketchbooks. I don't think they will serve me for very much longer. Maybe I can digitize them, in that weird free time everyone talks about. But when you want to become a professional big artist, like I did years ago, I really think better bookkeeping, more organized. Find a system that works for you. Don't kid yourself on what doesn't work. Don't make excuses for, oh, well, this just doesn't work for me, to keep all my receipts in a pile. Do what works for you to actually get stuff done. Grow up if you have to. I sure need a little bit of that myself sometimes. But keep your receipts, keep records of what you sold and how much and to whom if you can. That helps a lot too. But also pictures. I have sold so many little paintings and I've forgotten to take pictures of them. Good pictures that I can make prints from. That's kind of important in this business for me. Or else you have sold an original that you can never recreate ever again, and maybe when you're dead and famous, people don't even know it belonged to you. That could be another mystery for them. That may be more fun in the future. But definitely take pictures of all your work and record all of those things. So to wrap up, the 6 things I would tell myself 5 years ago when I really wanted to intentionally become a better professional artist. Don't be afraid to experiment. It's okay. Learn on purpose and go after skills intentionally. Use the system that you were given to hone and edit ideas. Find a tribe or a club or kind of a class, but a tribe of people, your tribe of nerds. Use what you've got on hand and don't be afraid to use it up because that's how you learn. And record everything and organize it. Thank you everyone for watching. If you like this or have other ideas, please like, subscribe, and comment. The big trifecta right there. And have a great night. Thanks, guys.